This looks amazing. Oh, his helmet's busted. They put money into this for real.
Who did this to you?
And that
Who gave you powers?
the new suit looks great.
They're coming for me. Who? I can't let them stop me. I have to finish this first.
Happy birthday.
Jordan listening into the fight.
Hi, Sarah.
You ignoring me?
No.
What are you waiting for? Come join the Geek Drums Nation. What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we will be talking about Superman and Lois Season 3, Episode 1. Yes, the show is back. But before we jump into that, if you are not subscribed and this is your first time on my channel, what are you waiting for? Join the Geek Drums Nation. This season premiere was, well, it was amazing. It was everything I could have wanted from this show. Superman and Lois has always been a bright spot on the CW for me ever since it premiered. Yes, it's had its faults, but what show doesn't? This season, it just feels different. It feels like they're in the right direction right from the bat, right from the jump. It feels like they're in the right direction, guys. And this season premiere, it just felt right. Maybe it's because we haven't had the show in a while, but I loved every single minute of it. And I'm just going to name down what I love. Just do you know how I do my reviews, guys. I jump around a lot. But let's get into it. So we know from the jump, from Lois's monologue, or whatever you want to call it, we are 27 days from when Ali Austin tried to merge the worlds and Superman went Super Saiyan and split them apart. That sequence is still amazing to this very day. It's one of the best looking Superman on TV scenes we have had in quite a while. I'll stand by that statement, though. I'll stand by that. We can debate all day. Hit that comment section. Let me know a different one. But yeah, so we're 27 days since then. We see that Clark, we're picking up from when he made the new fortress and his mom is there. This is basically when we get introduced for the first time to Michael Bishop as the new Jonathan Kent. And guys, let me tell you, all the stories that the cast is telling are 100% true, in my opinion. He fits in seamlessly. You cannot tell the difference. Not only does he kind of resemble Jordan Elsass, not only does he look like Alex Garfin, and they look like they could legit be at least fraternal twins, the man has his voice and mannerisms on point. You could not, he did not miss a beat of what Jordan Elsass did as Jonathan in the first 2 seasons. He came in, he did his research, he fit in seamlessly. You could not tell the difference. At least in my opinion, that's what I like in a good recast. It's not drastically different. He just got in where he fit in, and I see why he won the role. And I can't wait to see more of him. Michael Bishop, if you are watching this, you are doing an excellent job, sir. Excellent job thus far. So we see them in the new fortress. It's kind of fun to see Clark is working at the Gazette in this episode. I really like that. We know he's going to be getting back into reporting this season. Just seeing the relationship between him and Lois, stuff that we didn't really get to see that closeness because of how they had to film within the first 2 seasons with, the COVID precautions. And the first 2 seasons were much, they were so much more serious and dark than this premiere is, starting out as. This premiere felt very, very lighthearted, and I like that change in tone, but it did keep the serious aspects. So it's not a drastic change. I like that, though, because it feels different. It just doesn't feel drastically different as to where it could get goofy, if you get what I mean. But it felt good. It felt good. So we see Clark is handling that. We see him and Lois having some, they've been getting to have some alone time that they didn't really get to do a lot in the past few seasons, or as we like to believe, for the past few years. They're having, like I call it, they've been going to Towel Rose Beach House and having some super sex. And we know Adam Rayner will not be back this season. The reason is, well, he's busy. The man is busy, and Taro is currently on Bizarro Earth, forging his own path. But they did mention him, and Todd Helping did say when the time comes, he will be back. So if that's the next season, if we get a next season, if that season after that, if we get a season after that. Okay, so let's move on. So we see, like, when Lois and Clark are in bed, they start talking about Bruno Mannheim. Clark says, John told you to leave that alone. I like that this is something that's just not popping up right now. This is a conversation that has been ongoing for the past 27 days since the end of season 2. So this has been something that they have been talking about for a while. This is her white whale. This is Lois's white whale. I'm glad Lois is getting a good story. Get a call. She says that she will not be at work because she has to take care of something in Metropolis. What she does not tell Clark is that she's going to meet with John Henry of this Earth. She is going to meet with his sister. And then what we find out from her is very shocking, because the John Henry Irons of Earth, Todd, as I call it, was not a good person. He was selling tech to Bruno Mannheim and to Lex Luthor, and presumably that is what got him killed. Now, speaking of Bruno Mannheim, the little bit we got of him this episode, Chad Coleman, sir, you have range. The cadence in which you speak as this character, as Bruno Mannheim, I loved it. I loved it. It's unlike any other character. It's unlike Tyrese. It's unlike Spencer's dad over there on All American. It's different, and I like that. I love actors with range. I can't wait to see more of you. We see that he's basically bringing villains back to life, if I could say it like that. He has a serum. He's working with Automatopoeia, which was another highlight, another villain that I did not expect to see in live action, at least on TV, because a lot of people don't know Automatopoeia is a Green Arrow villain. So that's something that people wanted to see over there on Arrow, but we're getting it on Superman and Lois, so that works. Another good thing that I saw, we were in Suicide Slums. Now, if you aren't a huge comic book reader, you wouldn't know this, but Freeland, as they called it in Black Lightning, is not Black Lightning's canonical city. Suicide Slums is. Yes, Black Lightning lived in a ran down suburb of Metropolis. So seeing that, I'm like, oh, if they wanted to, they could have their own Black Lightning on this Earth. That would be cool. But I just thought I'd throw that in there. Now, we do pick up with the Cushings. Let me get this out the way. I could care less about the Cushing stuff. It's just like last season to me. The Cushing stuff is equivalent to the Chalegra Keown stuff to me over there on The Flash. I could care less. But we do see kind of a blossoming flirtation between John Henry Irons and Lana. And then at the end of this episode, we do see some Kyle Chrissy action that's basically on the level of Chalegra for me, just not as cringy. And what happens after that is freaking hilarious, because Lana, you showed up at the wrong time. Glad she didn't see in the house, but Chrissy knew what was going on, that there was stuff going on, but that was embarrassing. I felt for my boy Kyle in that moment. Let's jump back to some more of the good. Some more of the good is seeing Jordan, flying around the world with his dad, basically training. And he said, see if you can keep up, old man. But Jordan wipes out, and apparently he wipes out a lot. Now, I don't know if you all peeped this, but Jordan was like, I need some sort of wetsuit. I took that as he's saying he needs some sort of super suit to keep him from getting soaked. Clark says they're going to work on that. I thought that was fun kind of super suit talk that they're keeping under wraps for right now. I honestly do believe that we will get a Superboy suit sooner or later. Is it going to be this season? I have no clue. I highly doubt it. I don't want to think like that, but I highly doubt it. So over there on the Jonathan front, Jordan can fly, so he figures he doesn't need his license. But Jonathan wants his license because that's his mode of freedom. So he's studying hard. He still has the car that his uncle got him. We find out that Jordan returned his. Now, Jordan, I get it. You can fly, but you can't fly everywhere, bro. Like, people are going to have to see you driving at some point. They're going to find it weird. But Jonathan is working hard to get his license. We do find out that Jonathan does get his license, but it was after having a run-in with Coach Gaines, who is still salty about the whole drug thing and getting the football program suspended. It was good to see Coach Gaines. We then see Coach Gaines again at their party. So maybe he's not that mad, but they're keeping plot threads from season 2. I'm sorry. They're keeping plot threads from season 2, which I liked. So we find out Lois might be pregnant. when she goes to see, she describes some of those symptoms. And John Henry Irons' sister, Dr. Irons, as we will call her, Dr. Irons assumes that she's pregnant. We then find out towards the end of the episode, after Clark and Lois, telling Lana, and John finding out, and them being so excited about the idea of adding a new family member, we then find out that she's not pregnant, but it could be something worse. Are we going to get a breast cancer storyline? Are we going to get a cancer storyline with Lois in general? Is it something going wrong with Lois because of Clark? How are they going to play this? I can't wait to see this story play out. We wanted to see Lois get more story after last season of her feeling sidelined. We got it. And I think that this is a good way to take the character. I'm excited to see where this goes. How do you guys feel about that? Let me know down in the comment section down below. But let me know how you guys feel about this plot thread. I think it's really cool. So let's go back to Lana. Real quick. Lana is dealing with a lot as the mayor. I don't know if you guys peeped this, but her assistant is Doc Ambrose off The Flash, which makes sense because in that season, that was Todd Helbing's last season, and he did cast her as Doc Ambrose. So yes, that's the same doctor. I thought that was cool when I first saw her. Like, wait, I recognize you. But that's cool to see her, back on a superhero show, I guess. So yeah, that slight Easter. I noticed a lot of Easter eggs in this episode, guys. I'm a comic book nerd. You see behind me. How do you guys like the new setup? Do you like it? Let me know in the comment section down below. So yeah, Lana has her hands full. She finds out about some funds that are, being hidden away by the former mayor, who then shows up at the twins' party all salty and basically threatens Lana. I don't know. He's been a shady guy, but this just lets me know he did something stupid in his time as mayor, and Lana's going to end up paying for it somehow. Will it put her in danger? Will Clark have to intervene and save her at some point? I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. This is the storytelling that I wanted to see. I don't care about the divorce stuff. I don't really care about Sarah friend zoning Jordan. I'm glad she's in the know, but it's like, I don't care about that. Like, I just don't, guys. I'm sorry, but I don't really care about the teenage romance aspect. Let's jump to Sam Lane's storyline. That man, we all know Sam Lane has been a jerk canonically in every iteration of any Superman anything. But the way that he basically went behind John Henry Irons' back to recruit Nat for the DOD school that will lead her to a position at the DOD was underhanded because he wasn't thinking. And I get sometimes you do things without thinking. But when that immediately happened, I'm like, bro, you are about to break this girl's heart. She's already dealing with a lot. And you do look like her grandfather. She still sees you as that. It's impossible for her not. She knows you're a different guy, but it's impossible for her not to put those two things together. So for him to invite her out to hang out, and then after he says, "I was your grandfather on your earth, wasn't I?" Bruh. When he first brought up the school thing, I facepalmed because I'm like, that is bogus, bro. But after a little telling off by John Henry, he gonna protect his daughter at all costs, and I love that. After a little telling off, he comes back, he apologizes, they reconcile. I can't wait to see how their relationship blossoms as this season goes on. So at the kids' party, they're watching, the little slash or the little video that they made for the twins. It's good to see Jonathan hanging out with his friends. We see his girlfriend again, who looks like she's 37 years old. I guess he pulls older women. Good for you, John. But Chrissy shows up all awkward. That scene was hilarious. It was awkwardly hilarious, but it was hilarious because that's classic Chrissy. That's classic Chrissy Beppo. So after all of that, Clark hears a disturbance. And it's Adaman in Metropolis. That action set piece was freaking amazing. The cinematography, the CGI, it looked amazing. But I found out that they were literally fighting from sun up to sundown. That was one of the best fight scenes that we have had on DC television this year. I'm just going to say it. That tops Red Death versus Flash for me. I really enjoyed that fight scene. We find out that Clark just wants to help Henry Miller because he's trying to figure out who gave him these powers. How does he have these Kryptonian-esque powers? So He has Clark down on the ground. He's beating Clark. Clark's like, just tell me who did this to you. All of a sudden, he is killed, but there are no bullets. That's when Clark sees onomatopoeia. When we see him using his X-ray vision to see where this person went or where this person went, well, where this person went or where this person is going, I should say. I love the effect for X-ray vision. I don't think we've seen that yet. I could be mistaken. Correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. But I thoroughly enjoyed that entire scene, like all together. I can't wait to see more fight scenes this season because they really upped the ante. They upped the budget on that, and they take their time with their stuff. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all. They took their time. It looked really, really good. I skipped a scene, guys. Another scene that I loved was when Clark first heard about the crane falling and he flew out there, and lo and behold, who was there? Jordan. I love that Jordan's out there trying to do stuff, but yes, he has to learn the hard way that you're just starting out. You can't do everything by yourself. He could have caused a terrible, terrible accident, could have gotten somebody killed because he's just out there all willy-nilly just doing what he wants. But guys, I want to wrap this up by just saying Superman and Lois season 3 episode 1 is a 9.5 out of 10 for me. I'll just say it's a 10 out of 10, guys. I really, really enjoyed this episode. I had a smile on my face the entire time. I'm just glad this show is back. I'm glad we have Superman on television again. If this is the last season, which I hope it's not, I hope they go out on a bang. This first episode was amazing. Now, guys, subscribe. Let's get these viewers up. Let's get these followers up. And join the Geek Drums Nation, guys. All right, I'll check you later.